Oh, well, the saga continues. If you have truly been living under a rock, and that's honestly the best way to say it, you're probably unaware that a group of people have been trying to hold a company to task in terms of, I don't really know how else to say it other than providing the service that they were paid to do. And that company is USCCA. And they have done pretty much everything in terms of justifying the members that they've dropped, including having their customer service trash me when people call in to cancel, having their vetted instructors bring racism into the whole thing. I mean, they've pretty much done everything except for going out and saying, hey, we screwed a couple of these up, here's how we're gonna fix it. Still haven't done that. And one of those cases in particular is the case of Kayla Giles. Anyways, the best self-defense company out there, Attorneys on Retainer, had a use of force expert on their show the other day. And he gave some shocking intel, to say the least.
I mean, here I'm bringing 32 years of law enforcement experience. I'm bringing 10 post years of doing these type of cases and use of force reviews and shooting reviews. This is an incredibly defendable, justifiable case of use of force.
But I think the most shocking part of all of this is the Kayla Giles video, the actual video of her defending herself against her ex-husband. That's been released, and it's very telling as far as what happened. So, for the people who are new or don't know the facts of this case, Kayla Giles and her husband had a bunch of domestic issues going on. They both hit each other. The difference is the disparity of force factor. One is a man that's 6'1", 180 pounds, and the other's 5'0", low 100s. The other point that is extremely important in this is Kayla Giles' ex-husband was a trained MMA fighter. I can tell you right now, if a cop knows that you're an MMA fighter and he has to subdue you, he's taking his level of force up a notch right away because he knows that he has to have an advantage against you. That is the exact same thing with what happened with Kayla Giles. So here's a video. This was taken from across the street from a Sonic drive-thru. Okay, so let me break this down just because I know it's far away and it's kind of hard to understand, but if you've read the court documents, there was an argument going on. It wasn't a good child custody exchange. Kayla Giles walked back to her car, and Thomas, ex-husband in the situation, followed her over, tried to open her door. Kayla didn't have time to lock it, so he succeeded. Kayla got scared and shot him once. Not 4 times, not 3 times, not 2 times, once. Now, a big part of this, and a big part of why she got convicted, is they thought that this whole thing was premeditated. Great, let's break this down. You're saying that it was premeditated. So Kayla somehow, with her magical powers, made her ex-husband follow her to her vehicle when she's trying to leave, and then her magical powers made him try to open the door. Now, I want to make something very clear here, because in a different situation, I do not agree with how this went down. If you were a man who's in a relationship or who's on a date or whatever, and you're in an argument, and let's say it's the exact same situation. She walks off, you walk over to, I don't know, make it right or finish your thought process or whatever, that is not an opportunity for the woman to just shoot you. There has to be other factors involved. But if you're coming in an aggressive manner and somebody knows that you're trained, yeah, their ability to have heightened precautions is going to probably be there.
One thing that was really troubling from our conversation with Kayla was she said all of the evidence hadn't even been given to them yet at the time that they made that decision. And one critical piece that had not been given to them was the interview with the child.
Oh my gosh.
Question. I know that you said whenever y'all first got there, they were parked right next to each other with a couple of inches in between. And at first you said that Thomas went up to mom and was like jumping on her. Answer. No. Jumping at her. Page 14. Question. Okay, so which car did this happen at when Thomas jumped at mom? Did it happen at mom's car or at Thomas's car? Answer. At mama's. She answers again. No. What I saw was Thomas jumping at her, then mom shot him. That's page 14 of the interview.
So, The question here is not whether or not she was guilty, innocent, any of that. The question here is should USCCA have covered her? The premeditated crap is complete BS. But from looking at this video, knowing the factors that went into it, it is 100% a case that is possible self-defense. It's possible. And here Tim Schmidt is saying that the insurance company is required by law to cover it unless it's 100% clear that it wasn't self-defense.
The question is, was it at least an arguable case of self-defense? And
much more than that. This is an incredibly defendable, justifiable case of use of force.
I don't know. This whole thing is very confusing to me, and it's all kind of smoke and mirrors because USCCA puts out one thing, and then the evidence in the video shows another thing. Oh, we have to cover you by law. Okay, but the law also says that insurance companies can't insure a criminal act, which means that if the court deems this a criminal act, you can technically drop whoever you want. And then if they try to sue you, like Kayla Giles did for dropping her, guess what gets put into those court documents? The insurance company cannot cover criminal acts. Boom, you're done. It's the only thing the court needs to hear. So my recommendation would be if you have USCCA, if you have any other insurance-based carrier, get rid of them. Join Attorneys on Retainer. They're actively trying to help Kayla for free, just because they care that much. Attorneys on Retainer offers all of the same benefits, except it's not attached to insurance, which means you don't have some bean counter saying, oh, well, it was a criminal act, so let's not cover it. Oh, it was in a sensitive place. Okay, let's not cover it. Oh, it wasn't 100% clear that it was a self-defense situation. Let's not cover it. Somebody explain that to me. What is a 100% clear self-defense situation? If it's 100% clear, you wouldn't be charged. You wouldn't need a service like this. This is a service for the situations where it's not very clear, like Kayla Giles, but unfortunately she was dropped. So, Attorneys on Retainer, they cover your bail. They cover you all the way through trial, before the trial. If you lose or you take a deal, they're not asking for their money back like these insurance companies have in their contracts. You've got decades of experience on your team with Attorneys on Retainer, and you're not paying into something. As soon as you pay your monthly dues and your sign up, you're covered at all the same levels as everybody else in the program. So, we're giving you $50 off when you sign up. Please do not trust your freedom with an insurance company. It is not a gamble that I or most people now will take. So I'm really curious to see what y'all think. Obviously, it's a tough case, right? But having something like a USCCA, it's not for them to decide your guilt or innocence. It's for them to cover the situations that are leaners. Oh, it could have been self-defense or it could have been murder. Well, yeah, she was trying to leave and the MMA fighter aggressively tried to go over to her car and open her door. That's a leaner. But no, USCCA says that it was premeditated. She summoned him with her mind for him to follow her back to her vehicle and then try to open her door. Absolutely, that's premeditation in its finest.